All right, guys, welcome in to Talk or Go Home. Nick Wilson, Clint Thompson, David Murphree, and we've got two really special guests on today. Aden Jones and Rhonda Mundy. Aden Jones is currently, what grade are you? You're in the 9th grade, right?
Right.
10th. You're in the 10th grade? That's right. God,
Goodness.
saw you last year.
We don't have a little freshman on here.
Yeah, so Aden's in the 10th grade, and Rhonda, you are Aden's aide,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But
He said, we need to say me and you had the same babysitter.
that's true, because we did. She babysat me when I was growing up, and now she's in charge of you.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest with you. You are much more of a success than I ever thought about being. So, congratulations.
Nick used to do the same thing on Angel Way as he does here.
Yeah.
He carried around a VHS camcorder.
Camera.
I can
like
see
the
that.
real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Like Adam Goldberg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam Goldberg, yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
if
a
the
great
kids
show.
were playing ball in the yard, he was the announcer.
Rarely did I actually play. I was more interested in like
Just commentating.
being on ESPN or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Aden is a longtime fan of the show.
Number one listener.
Number one listener. That's impressive. Because I thought you were the number one listener.
I'm number two.
You're number behind Aden?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it feel to be the number one listener and now you're on the show? What's that like?
You love it?
Pretty exciting, huh?
He's pumped to be here. He's pumped to be here. Right? Yeah. So if you are listening to this podcast right now, we strongly encourage you to watch this. That way you can see Aden's face. You can go YouTube, Spotify. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you got to go to Spotify to watch it, but it'll come out on YouTube the Monday after it'll premiere. So, Aden, what you been up to, man? Tell us about yourself. What's going on in Aden's world? What do you do? Like, what are you, basically? Who are you? What are you? What do you do? Where do you go? What's up?
I love hanging out at Rocky's Garage.
Rocky's
That's a
Garage.
good place. I've hung out over there too.
So it's gotten wild over there?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild over
It's a
there?
good place.
Yeah.
They were cooking out now. I was over there.
Yeah.
Didn't offer me anything though.
You didn't stay long enough. We would have.
I want to cook that pig over there y'all got.
No.
Y'all still got that
Gloria's
pig?
not.
Gloria?
We do, but she's had a rough week.
Huh.
The
Gloria's
West
had a
is
rough
getting
week?
closer.
Oh gosh.
She's getting closer.
That's bad.
She's
So where's Rocky's Garage? Tell us where Rocky's Garage
Okay.
is. I mean, I know, but tell the
Okay.
people.
Well, it is behind where we live,
Yeah.
and it just started out just tinkering on vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And Wes has a basset hound named Rocky, and Rocky hung out, slept in there all the time. So then it kind of turned into like Rocky's Garage.
Yeah.
So then it was, a man cave. It's got an old wood burning stove out of his grandmother's convenience store she used to run. Everybody kind of gathers around on the weekend. And now Judd is a diesel mechanic, so they now have their business license, and they work on stuff in there.
Judd being your son.
Yes.
They got a good
You're
man
awesome.
cave over there now.
Yeah.
I've
good.
been over there
Very
once or
good.
twice.
It's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and Aden loves it. He has all kind of things he does in there.
They even worked on my truck. My orange truck while I was over there. He even come to my house and looked at it.
So you've
truck
been over
they
to
worked
Murph's
on.
house.
Uh-huh.
So you can tell us where we can go to roll his house.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He couldn't be mad at you about it. We could
I
do
don't know.
a wagon and put the toilet paper on the back of your chair.
We can just let you roll his entire yard, Aden, and he'd never be mad at you. If Aden rolled your yard, would you be mad?
I'd probably help him.
What's one thing we noticed about Murph's house? It was so what? You remember? Everything was organized. The toys were lined up. There wasn't a little leaf on the concrete. It was
Immaculate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise us.
It was way better than my papa's house.
Now, which one are we talking about now?
Which papa are you talking about? Skip.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Skip, if you're listening to this, Aiden's talking about you, brother.
So you think he needs to hire a coach to come organize his stuff in his yard? He just needs a new house.
Now I got a skip rule on my bus. Skip Shaw rule.
Which is?
As a driver, well, when I drive my route in the morning, when you're stopped, you're supposed to look left, right, and then back to the left before you go.
Yeah.
But I always have to look back to the right to look out for Skip Shaw, because he could be coming. Because one of the places I stop is on. He might be coming on Ray White Road.
Yeah.
And this little dip, there's a hill, and I can't see good. And when he comes in the morning going to the barbecue, yeah, he's going now.
Yeah.
So I got to always turn back to the
Driving
right
that-
and watch for him.
Driving that
when I turn.
Toyota?
Well, yeah, Toyota, yeah.
Well, he's got two.
Or he got
he's
that Ford or the Ford. So I got that rule. that's Skip Shaw rule.
Skip Shaw.
He's got to skip
Left,
Shaw.
right, left, right.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
Instead of left, right, left, it's left, right, left, right.
And then keep
Left,
looking to the
right.
right as you pull out.
Yeah, and you got to
Left,
keep
right.
looking to the right when you pull out. Well, they may be coming.
You don't know.
No. You got to be ready.
So, Aden, Skip Shaw is your granddaddy, right? And he owns a barbecue joint here in town that we all eat at. What is your favorite thing at the restaurant? Because I'm going to tell you what mine is. I want to know what yours is.
Potato wedges.
Who put you on the potato? Hold on.
Yeah,
Who put
who
you?
put you
Who
on
put you on
those?
them tater wedges now? Who put you on them?
You.
I did. I recommended something to the guy to the guy that owns
Yes.
it, his grandson, because you had never had them before, right?
He said, I know they had those.
And they are daggum good, brother. So
And
that's your
then what's the other thing? What do you eat with it? Cheeseburger?
Cheeseburger.
What do you want on it? Everything.
everything.
There's nothing he don't like.
That's why I like mine.
Onions too?
Yes. He will eat it
Wow.
all. Is there one food you won't eat from over there? Oh, mayonnaise. He doesn't really like mayonnaise. Is there one thing you don't like over there? You don't like their French fries? That's the first. Oh, only when you eat the French fries there.
Yeah, you can't get them to
takeout
go.
French
No.
fries.
Yeah, can't get them to go.
That's true with anywhere though.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, what else you got going on in your life, dude? What you got going on? You over at Rocky's Garage. You eating Shaw's barbecue every day. What else you got going on, other than school?
I like to go to Talladega, and that's coming up.
Oh, Talladega.
Did you watch the race Sunday? I just had to be with my mom.
So I take it that's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tell them what you did last week. Where do me and you have to go? ECTC.
ACTC. Yeah.
And why did we go up there? He had to do an interview
Yeah.
for what? Automotive.
Wow.
He wants to go to ECTC.
The career tech school. You want to go to career tech school and do automotive,
Yes.
like automotive mechanics.
Yes. So we got to wait to hear back from them. And what'd you tell the guy? Because he was like, oh, you got to be strong. You got to be able to lift. You got to be able to do all this. And what did you say? And I said, I can hear and I can smell. And why is that important? I can tell them when a carburetor's flooding out. What else? I can hear what every engine sounds like.
So you know, based off of what it sounds like, what kind of engine it is or what kind of vehicle it is?
He thinks he can be a good diagnoser
Wow.
and tell somebody else how to fix it and what to do.
Well, by gosh.
Well, that's supervisor role right there.
Yes.
Every supervisor I've ever had just tells me what to do.
Yeah, so you're automatic supervisor material. That's what we're hearing.
Yes.
Aiden just wants to be the boss. You like being the boss?
Speaking of that, did y'all ever read the article that Rick Cardley did about Aden on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he kind of went over that. Like, it's one reason why Aden's so thrilled with Talladega is his other senses just take over.
Yeah.
And after I realized that Aden was like that way about Talladega, I'm like, what is it? What is the thrill? Like, because you put him inside there, and he's like, nothing else is going on in the world except that. And there is actually, like, this whole blind group, like, posse that go. Have you ever read about that?
Yeah, I've heard about that before.
You know, all the blind people come up and ask for money and sell stuff there. Has that ever happened to you?
Well, I want that to happen because I want bootleg stuff in the
He
parking lot.
does.
Well,
He
That's
does.
the only way I want stuff. I'm so excited when people come up and try to sell me something. That's the shirt I want.
Yeah.
Right there. I don't know if it's
I
bootleg.
was wondering, like, are these people just trying to get something for, you know, what is it? And I looked it up, and it is the closest, like, blind people can come to, like, they can hear it and they can follow the sport.
Right.
Because their senses of hearing.
Yeah, it is addictive.
overcome
Yeah.
that.
The sounds and the smells and
Yeah.
everything.
And then
Like-
there's like deaf people. It says it's the closest that a deaf person can come to actually hearing because they feel. The
Oh, it's
voice.
awesome.
Vibration
It
and
is
stuff,
awesome.
yeah.
I want oil dry on my piece of chicken before I eat it.
Is that the way you
we
feel?
can-
Ooh, hey,
Yeah, I
nails
want.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That happened
You
to me
like
one
that
time,
some-
and it was great.
Ooh.
I just want
Old
I
dry got on your chicken?
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
Now,
You
was it-
ate it?
Was
Well-
it oil dry or was it kitty litter?
Well, they just had a wreck over in Atlanta. Well, it's same difference. And so
One
we
just
were
smells a
bit-
little better.
Well, we were a little bit late getting in, and we got there right as it started. Then they had a wreck, and we were all getting the chicken out and rolls and everything. And they had a wreck, and then they started to race again, and it blowed all that oil
Like
dry up.
shake
And
and
it,
bake.
yeah, and it was just,
Yeah.
And that was so great, man. That was awesome. I loved it. It was just great watching the race, eating chicken with oil dry on there.
Was it gritty?
Rolls. Yeah, it didn't matter, man. You were just where you were supposed to be. You were loving life. You were in the moment. It didn't matter. I would have eaten it if I had. I wish it had oil on it.
That's got to be
oil.
the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Oil dry on my chicken.
Yeah.
That was all.
Old dry or kitty litter?
Yeah.
We had Rice Krispie treats. My sister made us some Rice Krispie treats. A bunch of guys from Jackson would go over there every year. One of the guys' dads worked for Kellogg's, and he would get us tickets to that race every year. Because Kellogg sponsored a car. But that was good. That was good stuff right there.
Tony the Tiger, I got something
Yeah.
for you at home. I got a Kellogg shirt at the thrift store.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I need that.
NASCAR.
I need that. He'd get us 8 tickets, and we'd all pile up.
So, you're wearing, what kind of hat are you wearing? First off, let's
Well, this
clarify your wardrobe right here.
Well, Aiden, his
See what he's
favorite
wearing?
driver is Kyle Busch, right?
Well,
Used to
go
be.
on telling. Used
Uh-oh,
to be.
uh-oh.
He's turned, but he had an M&M costume one time for Halloween
Right.
on his wheelchair, and what happened? Kyle Busch retweeted, like, somehow it got on Twitter, and he retweeted it and wrote a little message to Aiden.
How about that?
What? I saw a little different look come over your face when I said that.
Well, I mean, Kyle Busch, he's growing on me. Him and his
Yeah.
brother
Yeah.
are growing. I used to not like him real good, but this is
Well,
not a Kyle
how do you
Busch
feel? Well,
hat.
you know, Aiden likes M&M's. That's
Yeah,
his
it's-
thing. But how do you feel about the Bush boys now that you're older and more mature? How do you feel about them? They're what? Go ahead, say it.
Don't be cussing now.
He's trying to think of a different word other than a cuss word. When he shakes his head like this, that means a profanity went through his brain. What do you think about the Bush boys? You can handle them a lot better now? Okay. At one point you didn't like them.
So you used to hate him. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they've grown on me a little bit.
So NASCAR is your favorite sport?
I like it better than football.
Daggum, boy.
Whoa, them fighting words now. Come on
I
now.
don't know. I don't know.
It's all right.
I don't know. I'm a football guy. I love NASCAR. You know, me and Coach Murphree, me and David went to a NASCAR race one time. He bought a bootleg shirt.
ARCA. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
ARCA
Went
series.
to an ARCA race.
Yeah, we went to an ARCA race at Talladega.
You always turn me down on Sunday race.
So do you go by yourself on Sunday?
No, me and my nephew go most of the time. I've gone by myself a lot.
Yeah. Our tickets just keep getting better and better, don't they, Aden? He liked the episode about. Is this something about NASCAR?
Beer cans on a school bus.
Oh,
Yeah.
He understood what you said.
Yeah.
You like that? Uh-huh. What
that-
made you think of that?
Well, because they take the school bus to the NASCAR race. That's
Oh,
how the
I
beer
see,
can gets
I
on
see.
there. So
Okay. I
You
didn't
liked
know
that story,
whole
didn't you?
story.
Coach Murphree likes it too because what is it, number 2 on our all-time download?
Yeah, I think so. No, exit only is.
Oh, exit only.
Exit only is. But it's up there. It's like top 4.
Oh, yeah, that comedy. It's a
Comedy
good one.
is the episode to listen to,
Yeah,
man.
that's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite was when y'all told y'all stories, the Jody Whaley episode. I laughed the whole.
I believe that's probably been our best episode to date, and we've got some other stuff in the works, so
Exit only.
obviously stay tuned. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that episode.
If you haven't listened to Exit Only,
I
listen to it.
laughed the whole time. It was
Yeah, don't be
hilarious.
in suspense about some of the stuff we got coming.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a good hit.
Do I know about it?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
I don't know. Hey, now Kyle Busch. One thing I do want to say about him and his foundation that he's got, they help couples with like IVF and everything.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
I like
so
that.
and I know a lot about that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I
Yeah.
kind of like them a little bit better now too for
Right.
what they do. I know all of them have to have their charities and all that. All of them do, but that's what they do.
Right.
They help people.
I like it.
Help. That's expensive stuff, and they help
They
them
help
pay
people
for
that
it. Yeah,
can't-
help
that
them pay
can't
for
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Can't have kids. Yeah.
that's
He hope it don't rain this year at
Talladega.
Talladega because it seems like the last
Yeah.
few races
Yeah.
on Sunday it's rained.
yeah.
What'd you think about the last race you went to, the ending? I didn't like it. Who won? Bubba Wallace.
You don't.
He didn't like. He didn't like the way he ended.
You don't like Bubba Wallace.
Well, he likes Bubba Wallace, all right. He just felt like
Yeah, it's right. It's
he didn't rightfully earn it.
well, it's rain shortened,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah.
that just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, but who was sitting behind us for the Bubba Wallace race? Who was right behind us? His mama. Was she happy? Mm-hmm. She screamed and hollered. I said, well, at least his mama's happy. I had that mama heart moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that race at Talladega that time that Gordon won, and everybody thought that wanted Junior to win, Dale Jr. And
Yeah.
everybody started throwing stuff on the track.
Yep.
I don't think it was because Gordon won it. I think it's just because people sat there and watched them go around 4 laps under caution
Yeah.
at the end of the race. I think that's what
Yeah.
everybody was so mad about.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember that or not.
and Gordon won.
Well, I don't think people would have if they had been if it had been under green and finished under green.
I think they still would have thrown.
No,
if
I
Gordon
don't
won.
think they would have
do.
thrown. I don't think they would have thrown a thing.
I don't know. Around here, Gordon was like that villain.
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
He was that anti-hero that.
Like up until really right before he retired.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't like Gordon until he retired. I'm gonna be honest with you. Same thing with. I still don't like Kyle or Kurt Busch.
Not Kurt. I got like him a little better now.
I
Since I
like-
saw him fly by in the air
You saw
a
that?
couple races ago.
You saw that?
Yeah,
Did he wave at you?
yeah, he weighed.
As he came by upside down.
And Rusty
in his
Wallace
car?
did one time too,
Rusty.
backwards.
Well, all those older races that you went to, older, that sounded bad, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
go ahead.
But some of those races that
Races in the
stick out
past.
to you need to write them down so I can go back and look them up for Aden to watch.
Okay.
He likes.
That was a good one. Now Dale Earnhardt turned Rusty Wallace backwards that race, and he come flying by in the air, right to the finish line, like it was in slow motion. When that happened, it's like
Was Rusty Wallace in the Tide car then?
he was in that. No, that was
Okay.
the Miller Genuine Draft.
Okay.
He was in, but it turned. It was
Not
a
a
Pontiac.
sponsor.
It was a Pontiac. Yeah.
Nor is Tide.
No Tide or Rusty Wallace, but he now he flew. Hey, when that happened, It's like it was slow motion. It's like everything just went quiet. I couldn't hear anything. I just watched it fly by. And
The
watched
car.
him, and watched it flip 14 times, I think. And then I started hearing stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy when stuff like that happens and you see something like that.
And it's always in slow motion.
Crazy.
Well, how old were you when you went to your first race?
18, 19, I guess. Probably something like that.
He might have you beat before long.
Yeah.
Aiden, how many races you been to, man?
Okay, well, how old were you when you went to your first race? Like your first legit Sunday race? 12, and you're 15 now, and he goes to 2 a year. So.
I think I've been to 2 my lifetime.
I've been to several. We went. Well, I mean, do you count NASCAR only? Or you counting like everything, qualifying,
He's
ARCA?
only counting Sunday races.
You're only counting
But
the Cup Series.
He camps for the whole weekend. He hangs with everybody the whole entire weekend.
Now, hold on. You might get in trouble down there. I'm just saying.
Well, I've got a picture of him in a police car.
All right, then.
Yeah.
We got a picture of Kevin Moore in a police car, too.
Yeah.
It was somebody you knew. One time, can we tell the story what happened when you were in line? Okay, he had handicap parking pass. So, for some reason, though, when they started releasing the vehicles after the race, they let everybody else go except the handicap parking lot.
Yeah.
They were stuck in this line for like 2 hours. Couldn't go backward, couldn't go forward. Tiana knew a police officer that was working there that weekend. And she got a hold of her, and she was like, we got to get Aden out of this line. He's got to go to the bathroom. He's got to go. She kind of wiggled her way and got through there, but Aden didn't make it.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
And they brought him back with me to the siren zone with a police officer holding him, wrapped in a beach towel. I said, what in the world has happened to you?
Well,
He
daggum,
had a
son.
little accident waiting in line, and he got a police escort back to the camper.
That's why they do it right there now.
Yeah, and then the police officer ate with us. We did. We had been cooking, and they just sat down and ate with us.
He washed his hands, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we offered that.
Okay.
And it was a female.
Oh, okay. She washed her hands.
Yes. What's her name? Y'all know Kathy? Short-haired, spiky.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy?
Yeah.
Oh, girl. She retired, didn't she?
She did.
She retired.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any idea what we're talking about, this is what it's like to live in a small town in Alabama. Yeah, I know Kathy. Old girl, she retired, didn't she? Yeah.
But
Yeah,
she
she
saved
retired.
the day.
So, Aden, we have some international listeners. We got some folks in Ireland and Germany and Spain and in the UK and Canada and Mexico.
And the German province of Hesse.
Especially. So, Coach Murphy's obsessed with those that listen in the German province of Hesse.
Hey, can I just shout out to German province of Hesse right now?
Shout 'em out.
Hey, sorry about that Battle of Trenton.
And there's the American Revolution reference. The Hessians.
They were eating sauerkraut.
Yeah. Yeah. So, shout out to you. What if the people in Hesse were like Americans that were just living in Hesse? And they're
sure
like,
they are.
they're not actual
maybe.
Germans? You don't think they're actual Germans just listening to us?
I don't know. I have a hard time following you sometimes. I'm really
Y'all
not that.
lost me at Hezzy.
I'm really not that
Sounds too
smart.
much like Hezzy. Hezzy, I'm lost. But I'm laughing. It's funny.
I think we
It's
would
funny.
fit right in if we went there.
Why?
Well, I think we would. I think we could fit in.
The only way to know is to go do it. I'm up. Let's do it.
We need to do a podcast from Hesse
I want to.
on the streets.
We'll just get off and say we're here.
We're here. What's the capital of Hesse? Do we need to look this
Well,
up?
it's in Germany, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Hesse's a province, capital
but
of
I mean the
Hesse. So what's the capital of Hesse?
It wouldn't be Berlin? Is that not? Wouldn't it not?
No, Hesse, Wiesbaden.
Okay, yeah, we'll go there.
We'll go to Wiesbaden.
If you're
With a W,
high
not a
school
V.
history
Yeah.
teacher, you might could write a grant or something.
Yeah,
Take
that's what we're gonna do.
trip. If you only knew how to write
We're
a
gonna take
grant.
Aden with us.
If you only knew how to write a grant.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know a Grant. You could probably write to him.
Is that how it works?
That's a great
We
dad
just gotta
joke.
know a
Let's go
grant.
For it.
Wiesbaden. Hey, while we're there, we can go to Munich and the Rhineland and all those places.
that's
It's good
nice.
stuff. Black Forest.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
a
good trip.
it's a spa town. We can go to a spa.
You
Aden?
Did you ever tell them about your trip that you took out west? Aden went for it was like 14 days.
It was
It was a long one. But
a long one.
what's some of the highlights you've seen?
Did you see a cactus?
To the where? Well, you went to Mount Rushmore.
Well, by gosh.
He slept in a teepee on his birthday.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
they just went on. His mama didn't loaded him up, and they just went out west for like 14 days. Didn't have a reservation, nothing.
That's the way
That's
to
what
do
you
it.
do.
That is the way to do it.
That
They
is the
just
way to do
roughed
it, yeah.
and he loved it.
I wish I could be more like that. Spontaneous.
Are you very stressed out? Are you stressed out
Right
all the
now,
time?
right this second.
I just, in general.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Right this second, yes.
No, not much.
No.
The
He's
second,
saying it 'cause
not
his
really the
cheeks are
second.
red.
Yeah.
You've been eating hot wings.
No,
You got
don't
sauce
got
on your
sauce
face.
on your
No,
face.
you got sauce on your face. Right there on your chin. It's a little red.
Hey, Aiden, you like the new car? NASCAR, you like the new car?
The
The new race car?
I thought he said he didn't see it.
Did you like?
He's probably seen a picture or something.
Yeah.
You like the new one? I don't know what I think about it.
Do you
I'm
know
not-
enough about it?
I guess it'll grow on me.
So I know Aiden didn't watch it, but did you guys watch the race there at the Coliseum?
Yeah, I watched
what did you
most
think
of it.
about it?
Well, I
Top
thought
speed
they-
of 66.
Well, I thought they should have just had it at Legion Field.
In Birmingham?
Well, I guess it's pretty neat. Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, I was just thinking, I guess it's pretty neat to have it in the Coliseum. It's a different crowd and everything. But I did put on Facebook. I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did put on Facebook that while I
He's
was
just
watching the
learning how to
race,
do it.
I put on there. I really enjoyed the Brooks and Dunn show during the race. There was no Brooks. And
I was
Dunn
going to
show.
say, I don't think there was
Yeah.
one, was there?
I was like, what? What's
But
happening?
I was just wondering what if this was in Neyland Stadium? What if they'd done this in Neyland or at Legion Field? I wonder
Yeah.
how-
Well,
how
what
it
was
would
the
go
one?
over.
Bristol.
Bristol, yeah.
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
Well, it was a dirt track, dirt
they
race.
did the dirt race, but they also did the Tennessee Virginia Tech football game at Bristol, and it was
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
It was a
I
huge
guess,
turnout.
I guess it was a pretty good crowd. But I mean, if they were going to do something like that, I wish they could just have something like that at Bowman Gray Stadium. I don't know if y'all know anything about Bowman Gray, but they wouldn't have enough seating probably.
Bowman, what is that?
Bowman Gray, it's just like what they did. It's
Yeah.
a track around the football field.
Oh, okay.
I would
gotcha.
like to go there and see a race.
Yeah.
Bowman Gray. It's close. It's close. It's up in North Carolina.
I'd like to go back in time to one of those first Daytona one of those first Daytona races where it was
the
just
beach?
the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no real track. It was just the beach.
Okay,
I'd like to
I
go
will
back.
say they have put like a bar there where that was.
Really?
Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's
I've never been to
called-
Daytona.
It's called the North Turn. and
Really?
It is awesome. It's like a bar/restaurant that
Yeah.
is actually on the beach where the North Turn was.
Has Aiden been?
He has not been, but we did
Daggum.
take Judd for his 21st birthday and went to a Daytona race, and I loved it. It was awesome.
I went to a Daytona race
He
with
wants
my
to go.
cousin. I think 2004, I believe it was. It was. I made the mistake of wearing shorts because hey, when you're in Florida, wear shorts. But in the middle of February, it's rather cold.
Yeah.
Daytona
didn't know
Beach. Daytona Beach.
Well-
You went to Daytona Beach.
Went to the
Aiden's
went to the
laughing at you.
500.
Did
went to
you?
the-
Oh, you
did
went
y'all
to the
drive
500?
or did
Yeah.
y'all?
We drove.
Okay, because
Yeah.
you know the airport literally is in the same parking lot
Yeah.
as the track. So the next year, Judd went back and they just bought a package and he flew and loved it.
Wow.
They didn't have a vehicle; they just Ubered the whole time. And
Well, see, we were down seeing my aunt lives in Jacksonville, and it's about an
yeah,
hour drive from Jacksonville down. So we just drove down.
a family trips near St. Augustine.
Yeah.
It was big. They had the speed trials and everything on the beach.
Yeah.
Years ago as well. So, but then they kind of lost some of its appeal because they moved everything to the Bonneville Salt Flats. Started having it at the Bonneville Salt Flats,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Speed trials and stuff.
Yeah. I thought the little restaurant was. I mean, I'm glad that they put that there in its place so people
Yeah.
could.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
It's neat. It's historic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Talladega your favorite track?
He wants to go to every one of them. That's his goal in life. What's your next race that you want to go to? He wants to go to a Bristol night race.
Ooh.
Yes. I want to go to a Bristol night race. I've never been.
I've only been to Talladega.
Yeah, I would like to go to a bunch of different tracks, but Talladega and Daytona, that's the only place you can go to see anything like that.
Yeah.
As crazy as that.
I'd like to go to the Daytona night race. That
Yeah,
would be
that-
fun
I
during
would
the 4th
too.
of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been to the infield at Talladega one time.
Never been infield. Don't
And
wanna
that's
go.
that's
Nah,
enough.
yeah.
That's you ever been to Bill Street or to Bourbon Street?
Yeah, I've been to all them.
Okay, well it's worse.
What about
The
Bill's
infield
Lounge?
at Talladega's.
It has got. I
The what?
camped there
Bill's Lounge.
several years
Yeah,
ago,
I've never been
and
there.
and I've gone back within the last couple of years, and I will say it's gotten a lot worse. When we camped there, I felt safe and fine, but when I went back later, just to the concert with Joe
Yeah.
and some of his friends, I was like, never.
Well, I have
It's
no
rough.
desire to go in there. I just go to the race, watch the race, and go home.
See, if I go in, I want to go like to the garage. I want to like see the behind the scenes of the race. I don't really care about the hanging out in the
No, I
infield
don't.
necessarily. If I'm going to do that, I want to go back outside the track and hang out with my people out there
Yeah.
because I feel like it's a little more open in the infield. Everything's so closed in. You're on top of there's limited space,
Right.
but
Well, y'all know on the other across the street where that little souvenir city area
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
We've started camping at the campground right behind that called Dove Ridge,
Mhm.
and you literally cross the road and there's handicap pickup because it's the main entrance. So like we can get in and out of a race with Aden like nothing, like golf carts that the wheelchair gets
yeah.
on.
Okay.
I mean, it's
and they just
so
take them and
easy,
get in and
yeah.
get out. Yeah.
So we just got it figured out what works for us.
And I like going to the race, but what you're talking about, that part of it is not fan friendly though. Like you
What?
can't get close to the drivers and the
Are you talking
cars
about
and
the
everything.
infield?
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that
'Cause you
because
can't
they
get-
don't come with a race ticket. If
No,
you want to get in the stands,
no,
you
all
got to
that-
purchase a separate race
If
ticket.
you go like to an NHRA event, a big time drag race, I mean you can go right to the drivers, right where their cars
Right, you
are.
can go
You
right
have
in the
access
garage.
anywhere, the garage, and you can stand right there and watch them work on them and drivers. But NASCAR's not that way.
You can walk through the garage, but I think it's still a good ways away.
yeah.
You
It's
talking
Like-
about
kinda got that
NASCAR?
new garage experience.
Right.
Thing going
Yeah, but you
now.
still
Yeah.
got to pay extra for
Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah.
get in and
Yeah,
everything.
you do.
So I don't. That's the
So that's
only
what I'm
thing I
saying.
don't like about
The
it.
only reason I would be in the infield is
Yeah.
for that experience.
Yeah, I mean,
is
it's
not
that
you know,
part of NASCAR is not fan friendly at all.
Are you okay?
That
Matt?
part of getting in there and getting close to the drivers and the cars.
Well, NASCAR's seen a recent decline in viewership and interest and engagement over the past 10 years. In terms of like sports in the United States, NASCAR's become one of the least engaged sports with Aiden's generation. Aiden's kind of the exception to folks his age.
Yeah.
What do
On
you?
homecoming, we want to do Talladega Thursday. We need
Yeah.
to bring it back.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to dress in the redneck Talladega gear. You would be all out on Talladega Thursday.
Well, yeah, I could do that.
Kind of like he is now.
Like that.
I mean,
Wear
what?
that outfit.
Yeah, I could do that.
We did it one time years ago. Do you remember that?
I guess I was here.
You were here.
You've
so
been
long
here
you
as
forgot.
long as I've been alive.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although, did y'all see that school that got in trouble for doing the hobo day? We had to dress. They dress up like hobos. They said
And they
they
got in
were
trouble.
making fun of homeless people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Hey,
just happened.
hey, Aaron, put that camera on me real quick. Okay.
There you got the eye roll. Hey, Aaron, do you watch NASCAR?
Not really that much, but sometimes I'll see it.
Do you think Aaron should start?
Now I want to go with Aiden. I want to get in. I want to run into some drivers.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
But
Aiden, I want to use you to get to some drivers.
I will say the whole garage experience, driver intro for like you get handicap tickets. Like literally, we're on the stage. We
Right.
touch every
Yeah, I wanna be on the
race
stage.
car driver's hands.
I want to be on the stage. Yeah.
Look, when this happens, all right, I'm going to send a camera with y'all, and I'm going to ask, this is going to be great because he ain't going to know how to do it, but I'm going to ask you to vlog it.
I could use two cameras.
Okay, yeah. Like you did your
My phone
your,
and
your,
I've had
your,
experience with this
your
before. I
wife
get it.
giving birth.
I get it.
Yeah. You were doing it for football. I was doing it.
Hey, yeah, I do. Hey, I run into Hut Strickland one time in the Cracker Barrel parking lot.
Yeah.
Donnie Allison in the bathroom at Talladega. That was huge. That was the most exciting
Really?
thing
You
ever
ran
happened
it?
to me. Yeah, in the bathroom at Talladega.
That's good stuff.
It was
Donnie, not Bobby.
Donnie.
Donnie, yeah.
Now, Donnie, he was the one that was involved in that Daytona 500 fight at the end of the race with
Cal
Cal
Yarborough,
Yarborough.
yeah.
Because of Bobby, yeah.
Yeah, but he at the race that time, he had just it's when Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired, and they gave him a car. over there, and Donnie drove it around the track. I may have told you all this, but like at the first caution, I went into the bathroom, and Donnie came in because he was fixing to go in the booth and be on TV, and I saw him out of the corner of my eye as I was using the restroom. Because it was lined up, because it was a caution.
As you were handling your ablutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw him out.
Hey, what's going on?
No.
What are you doing?
Hey, I saw him, and I said, well, that's Donnie Allison. And so I don't think anybody else even recognized him. And so I walked by him, and I said, hey, will you sign my ticket when you get out of here? And he said, yeah, I'd be glad to. He was real nice, real nice. And I went outside, and I was telling him, hey, you got a pen? You got a pen? Nobody had a pen.
So you waited outside the bathroom?
Yeah, and nobody had a pen. But then he come out, and of course he had a Sharpie. He was ready.
Oh, he's ready.
He was ready. It's happened to him before.
He signed my ticket.
I'm gonna start doing that. Just carrying a Sharpie with me. Then if on the off chance that somebody comes by and need my autograph. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, that's 6XL Clint Thompson from Talker Go Home.
Aiden's got a comment about that.
Get off me.
Did you take Azo that day?
That was pre-Azo. Hey, if I'd had that Azo that day, I'd run everybody out of the restroom.
That'd have been red everywhere.
Yeah, red everywhere.
All over
Especially
the
if I
walls.
saw Donnie Allison, it'd been everywhere. Hey, it's Donnie Allison. Donnie Allison. Nobody recognized. I didn't know it was him. I had him all to myself.
That's
Donnie Allison.
all to myself in the restaurant.
Why are the walls all red in here?
Like a murder scene.
He loved that story about that. What was the lady's name in the emergency room?
Oh, Linda.
Linda? You
Hey,
like Linda?
Oh,
He loves
Linda.
Linda.
Laughed about
Hey,
Linda.
you stay away from my Azo now. Bad stuff.
Well, what was the name of that episode? Was
I
that
don't
exit
know.
only? What episode was that?
I think it
No,
was
that's
Exit Only.
beer cans on a school bus.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was beer cans on a school bus. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Always,
Oh, Azo. Is that you like? Is that like top 5 stories you've ever heard from anybody? That Azo story.
That's my favorite episode. That was the episode that really got him
Yeah.
hooked.
How many episodes you listen to?
All of them. You haven't?
Beer cans on a school bus. We need to get that one on up there.
Comedy.
Listen to all of them. All of them this school year.
Okay.
Year. How long y'all been doing this?
Well, we're on season 5.
Oh, well, no. We ain't watched all of them. No.
He is getting a good education here. You
Yeah,
know,
he is.
Let me guess. Now
Life
you want to
lessons.
go back to season 1. Let me guess. Okay.
Hey, what about Almondinger? What do you think about Almondinger? The dinger.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh, Aaron.
What do you think about it?
What about him? What's happening? What's happened to the Dinger?
Almondinger. Almondinger, the dinger. Dick Trickle.
He's coming back.
Dinger is Dinger coming back?
He's coming back.
The dinger
Do
returns.
you know who he's what racing team?
What team is it?
Oh, he pulled up an article and had me to do it where like it read it to him, and he wanted to know if it's true because his granddaddy or somebody told him that the Dinger was coming back.
The Dinger's back.
And it is. He's
Yeah.
coming back.
He's not racing the full season, just what, 15 races or something in the Cup Series.
Yes.
You think he should be racing?
He wasn't very good the last year I was wanting him to win.
He's doing pretty good.
So then he kind of gave up on him for a while. That was probably when Aiden's always had this thing for like people with funny names or whatever. So when he was little, Almondinger was like one of those first little funny NASCAR names he heard.
Aaron can't
So,
hold
you know, he was obsessed to begin with about their names or the M&M car, that kind of stuff. As he's gotten older, though, to form his own opinion, who is your favorite race team? Say your true feelings, not what you think Wes Mundy wants you to say. Who's your favorite race team? Hendrick Motorsports.
Hendrick Motorsports.
And do you have a favorite driver within that team? My all-time favorite's Chase Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
But then he likes Willie B too.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled for Kyle Larson this year. Alex Bowman. He likes Alex Bowman. He likes this young generation.
I knew one name out of that whole
Yeah, I
entire
did
thing.
too.
Elliott.
Hey, I'd like
I
to
knew
go to
Kyle
Dawsonville.
Larson.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I went
Awesome
and
Bill from
I
Dawsonville.
ate New Year's Day food there
In where?
at the Dawsonville Pool Hall.
Yeah, I would like to go there. Was it
it's
pretty cool?
incredible.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I totally. And there's like a car museum there too. So go into the pool hall is not like the only thing to do in the
Yeah.
town.
I'd just like to see it.
And it's near a lot of really neat towns. Like it would be a good family trip.
Good old Dawsonville, Georgia.
Yeah. It was the pool hall. Judd, that was one thing. Judd had read on New Year's Day that they do like the peas and the greens and all that kind of stuff. So we just loaded up and went, and it was
Dawsonville Pool Hall. Not a sponsor, right?
You
They're
know
not a
who-
sponsor.
Not a
No,
sponsor.
they
Not a
need
sponsor.
to be.
Not
Should
yet.
be. Aldi's, hit us up. So, one of my favorite drivers of all time. You ready for this? Tell me if you know. You probably do. Bobby Labonte. You know old Labonte?
Texas tough.
He was a long time ago.
That was old Bobby Labonte.
Texas tough.
You like Bobby?
Yeah.
You like
See,
Bobby?
here's
No. Terry was Texas tough.
Terry Labonte. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like you guys are talking about these old school drivers, and all I can think of is like the cars they used to be in, like the old
Yeah.
green interstate batteries,
That's
number
Bobby.
18.
That's
yeah.
Bobby. Kellogg's is Terry.
What about
Kellogg's
Clint
Terry.
Boyer? You know Clint Boyer? Old Clint.
Hey, and I think that's one of the things that's hurt racing. That
Yeah.
They talk about
Yeah.
is you have no. I mean, when you hear that driver's name, you think about that, but their sponsors changed so much
Right.
now.
Yeah.
That's like it was a huge deal when Dale Earnhardt Jr. switched from Budweiser to
Right.
Mountain Dew. Right?
Yeah.
He went from 8 to 88.
Right.
Oh, which you're just adding an 8. But it was a big deal because everybody had come to love Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Same thing with like
that
Tony
red car.
Stewart. All the Tony Stewart fans, they were all
Home
the number
Depot.
20 Home Depot. Like, and that's the thing. You think of the corporate sponsor is synonymous with the driver, and that's not necessarily the case anymore. And really, when that started changing, was about the decline. So I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah, that identity.
right.
Like
So
Tide, like you mentioned Tide.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
was about the 2008 crash. You know, it's about when that started happening. They started pulling their sponsorships back to kind of save some money and stuff. So
Well, you know, you think about Dale Earnhardt and his number 3, BF Goodwrench car, right?
GM Goodwrench.
GM Goodwrench. Sorry, not BF Good. GM Goodwrench car.
Yeah.
Like that's Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
who.
Yeah.
That's who he was.
Yeah, you could
know?
pick that
That
out
black
easy
car.
on the track. You knew where.
Yeah,
Like you talk about the Tide car and interstate batteries. You could pick them out easy.
Yeah.
Now it's hard to know who's driving what. Now.
Exactly.
well, then was it Kevin Harvick took over the it was 29. It was still
Yeah.
Jim Goodwrench, but it's 29, and there were some things there, but I don't know. It just I guess that's about the time I started getting out of it, honestly. So it kind of does have some merit.
Yeah, I really haven't been as religious as I used to be. We'd go every Talladega race. I'd go with my dad and our cousins and aunts and uncles, and we'd go over there. And really, the past 10, 15 years, it hadn't been as frequent. I hadn't been since you and I went. That was pre-COVID. Was that pre? That was pre-COVID,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Now, I like going. There's a lot has changed, and I still like going. And I got so disgusted with it, I was just gonna quit. But then I was like, well, I don't like watching anything else. So,
The Dallas Cowboys.
well, football,
Right.
Football, but I like watching the races. I like going. It's just easy to do to go watch.
But
one,
see, the NASCAR season takes place, during that spring, summer, and then a little bit in the fall too. So I mean, it gives you something to do during that dog days of summer.
I don't like watching anything but football, racing. That's all I like to watch.
Yeah, same.
That's my boys too.
Yeah.
Wait, Aiden's just turned me into a redneck. I mean, basically.
Aiden.
Let's just face it; it was there.
No,
He just
well,
brought it out.
I never would have dreamed. Wes actually turned me into a redneck. But the very first race he ever took me to, the grandstands was still on the other side when it was grandstand tickets. I mean, it was so hot, and I just couldn't believe what people were wearing. Like grown men and like cut off shorts.
Jorts.
And I mean, anyway, it was so hot, and it was a porta-john. Wes said, "I'm gonna go into this porta-john," And Wes came out of the porta-john, no shirt on, with the shirt tied around his neck. And
That's what you want right there.
His belt off and all sagging, and I was like, all right, I guess.
I'm in love.
This is it. Been going every, and then when
Ladies, he's all mine.
I started telling Aden, about us going to the races. I got put with Aden when he was in kindergarten. So we've been, we're a package deal. So I started telling Aden about us going to the races and stuff. And then, I knew he knew a lot about some of the drivers. He would watch Sunday races with his granddaddy. And so then I was thinking, I'm just going to take Aden with me to Talladega. And we made it happen. He started going, and that's all she wrote. Now we're connected to that little NASCAR heart. But he's got some Ford people in his family. His family's divided in a lot. You got Ford and Chevrolet family. Then you got Auburn and Mississippi State, or them and Mississippi State. Aiden's got that on both sides. So I told him, he has this problem sometimes about he likes things to go with the flow because he thinks that's what everybody else around him likes.
Right.
Like he's a pleaser.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like you're 15. You make your own.
Make your own decisions, buddy.
Make your own decisions. You like what you like. And so this is the moment. Do you choose Chevrolet or Ford?
Uh-oh.
Put the mic up to him.
You choose Chevrolet or Ford. No judgment.
Please say Toyota.
You like those two, but that's not it. He shook his head. No. Chevrolet or Ford? Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
All right.
Well, what are we doing? Yes, Mississippi State or Auburn now?
Auburn and Mississippi State.
This is going to be huge right here now.
Yeah. Auburn or Mississippi State? Mississippi State.
Son, you picking wrong every time. It's Ford and Auburn.
What about if you had to choose between Alabama and Auburn? Alabama?
Yeah, there we go.
Woo!
Aiden,
All right, we got to
you.
cut this.
Aiden,
I don't want him on here anymore.
Aiden, we'll just kick Nick off. You can just come back anytime, buddy.
Look, hey, your grandfather and I had this conversation this morning about Auburn. All right? Okay?
What a dumpster fire. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Exactly.
Anyway.
We had a conversation about Auburn. Shut up. We had a conversation about Auburn. Ignore them. They're mean.
There's no telling what's going to be happening with that whole situation by the time this episode
We were talking
airs.
about basketball, not football.
Oh, okay. What a dumpster fire. That's for all the fat jokes, Nick.
As of the recording of this episode, we're still the number one team in the nation. Just remember. So I'm going to tell him, when he listens to this, he'll hear your betrayal. He'll hear you stab him in the back. That's okay.
Do you like watching Auburn sports with Skip Shaw?
Ew.
He's so loud.
He is. Hey, you walk in that restaurant. Hey, now what you doing? Big Daddy.
Is that he's just loud? Is that all he does during a game? He cusses like a sailor.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
When I'm over at his house, he's upstairs and I'm downstairs. I can hear him all the way down there.
Cussing like a sailor.
What about that time I went over to your house and you were hanging out with Skip Shaw in the living room? You remember that? What happened? I had something of Aiden's I had to bring over. It was nighttime. I let myself in because nobody would come to the door. I start walking up the stairs and I can hear Aden, that squeal. He's got this laugh squeal.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I was thinking, what is he so excited about? And what was it? Old Skip was in his whitey tie. In the refrigerator. All he had on was white underwear. Never checked up.
Wow.
Hey, Rhonda.
Wow.
I mean, I'm like, my eyes. I'm like, hey, I'm just looking for some chips and salsa. And Aiden's laughing, and he said, oh, Aden, shut up. You act like she ain't never seen a man in a pair of underwear. Like, she might not have ever seen one that looked this good. He never checked up.
That sounds about right.
Just own it.
That sounds like
Just
Skip.
own it. Just own it. It's already done. The embarrassment's over at that point.
He wasn't embarrassed.
Yeah, well.
He was good. Aiden, Aden talked about that forever. Well, he's still talking about it.
So Aden, I'm wondering, are you going tell us what you told Rhonda earlier about Talladega? What'd you tell her earlier about Talladega? Me and
a race with them.
You want to go race with me and Murph and probably Clint too. What'd you say? Did he tell you this?
Promised you wouldn't do what?
What would you promise you wouldn't do?
No, that's not what you
That's not what you said.
You wouldn't do what? If they what?
He knows. He knows.
What? If y'all drink beer, I won't tell.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta worry
We-
about
we-
it.
You ain't got to worry about
We're
that.
going though.
Yeah, we'll go.
April. It's coming around pretty
go.
quick.
You think we should invite them over to our camper, and then
Mm-hmm.
we walk over and we show them how we go in. We'll give them the handicap luxuries that we give. You think we should let Murphy
You hear that,
in on
Murphy?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm already there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think we should let him in on that? One year, we drove this old piece of junk truck. What was in the back of it? It was what? Garbage.
You gotta go take it off and throw it out.
What happened was we took the garbage truck because we had a basset hound that was dying. Wes would not leave the basset hound at home alone. So we put the basset hound in the old truck, and we took the old truck with an outdoor basset hound, and he didn't even bother to take the garbage out the back of it. Like, this is the most redneck thing ever. We fit right in. I mean, we literally had a half-dead dog outside of our camper.
So,
He ain't
Oh,
going
wicked.
no. He ain't going nowhere. Let's go to the race.
and even if he goes, this is where he needs to go.
Yeah, that'd be a perfect place.
Yeah.
Well,
So how I want to talk about your husband real quick, and Aiden, I
Okay.
want your opinion on Wes. I grew up with Wes. I wish we got to have him on.
well,
Okay.
he probably would have been better than me today. He was just nervous about maybe not understanding all of Aiden's words.
Yeah.
So, well, to me, the person that I can describe that is most similar to Wes Mundy is right there.
Yes.
Is David Murphree. He's the most similar. Would you?
There's two of them?
Their sense of humor.
Yes, and I witnessed them together because he did a little work on Murph's truck.
What was that like? Did
It
the
was
universe explode?
He's hilarious. Like, I worry sometimes when people like meet Wes for the first time. Like, are they going to understand that everything that comes out of his mouth is probably a lie?
And
He's
as a
just so dry, and he'll say like the funniest things and never laugh.
he won't laugh. Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, it takes my friends a while. Like, they're a little scared of him, you know. Not Murph. Murph understood every brain thought that Wes had. Murph knew.
That's
They're-
scary.
They're,
That is scary. It really is.
they were literally on the same wavelength,
Yes.
riding
yeah.
the wave at
Yes.
the same rate.
It was
He-
crazy.
He needs to be on here. We really need to talk to him about football, the '92 season, and everything. Well, we went through a whole lot together.
Yeah, you know his eye
Those years.
and his eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
Wes
piercing.
Mundy is probably in one of the most famous plays ever in Asheville
That's
football
true.
history. The history
Yeah.
of the school.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
you telling me about
When
that.
he ripped the
And
ball.
you know, when
yeah.
you brought that, he thinks that nobody knows that ever happened. Only him and his dad. So
Yeah.
when y'all seen each
Shoot.
other and you brought
Yeah.
that up, his head swelled
No,
up.
seriously, that's probably there's probably never been
They wouldn't have
A
made
better
it as
play.
far as they did.
many more big moments than I can't think of one.
Y'all know what it is?
No,
Well, when he
You're
sorry,
right.
sorry, Wes. You've told me this story, but I
well,
can't.
we
remember.
were behind. We were playing West Blockton.
In playoffs.
This would have been the third round,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we were down by 9 probably. 'Cause we come back and won the game. It was at late, 2 minutes to go. We're down by 9, and we score and kick off to them. Then he rips the ball out.
Yeah.
Causes fumble. We get it back
He
and score
said
again and
in
win
the
the game.
huddle, in the huddle, he said to Nick Spina, you remember Nick
Mhm.
Spina? Said, we're going to lose this game unless we get the ball right here. We're going to make a turnover. And Wes said, the guy gets the ball, he sees him running, and Wes just
Yeah, that's
grabs the ball away
yeah.
from him.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
He
That's
just
crazy
took it
stuff.
out of his arm. He didn't
Yeah.
even fumble, hit the ground. He
Oh,
just
that was
took it.
unbelievable. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great.
That's somebody.
You know, there's a treasured '92 highlight film.
I've got it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's pretty good
love
for
that.
back then. You
I
agree?
really enjoy watching that. I watch that a lot.
There's one on
Yeah.
YouTube too, or is that the one you're talking
They
about?
might have. I don't
It might be on YouTube now. I'm not
I think
sure.
there's like a 3-part or 4-part. Talking about basically going through the whole season. I think it's the whole highlight film.
You don't. I can't ever start watching that because it's like an hour and a half long. I can't
Oh, yeah,
start
you're
watching
done.
it because I have to sit down and watch it.
You have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to watching it. It's great.
Yeah, Judd
Yeah.
used to tell me like you would show him stuff like that in class, like stuff of his daddy or whatever. He loved that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, we've got to get to our
Hey,
recommendations.
look, I got to tell. Can I tell one thing?
Yes.
Tell.
On Aden, on his family.
Yeah.
Now I used to work for his great grandfather. This has been late '80s. I used to work for his great grandfather over at Happy Knoll Farm,
Okay.
Burnett's, and I would haul hay.
You know
Over
that,
there.
You know that place?
Well, I did that for 2 or 3 summers, and I hauled hay with this. This is who worked. His great granddaddy drive the. Now what we had to haul hay on was a school bus.
That's why you wanted to work
Oh,
there.
I've heard that. Oh,
Convertible
okay.
school
Yeah,
bus.
Well,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they had a school bus. It looked like it had been an old church bus. It was
Right.
a GMC or a Chevrolet, and it had been cut off right behind the driver's seat.
Yep.
It had been cut off, and you had half, like a long pickup
It
truck.
stayed parked out in front of
Yeah.
that old White House for a long time.
Yep.
We had that thing, hauled hay on it. And me and Brian Pipkin, we would go work, haul hay, and his great granddaddy would drive, and it would hold about 400 bales.
A good amount of hay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it'd take forever to load that thing up. But then Priscilla would work out there, and Becky and Wayne. I remember him working. James, he was off working in the appliance business, so he wasn't out there much. But then his mother and Amy and Craig, they were probably elementary school. They were running around out there playing, and we were hauling hay. But one time, we were coming over, like where Skip lives, Ray White Road right there. We were coming over the hill, got to the top of the hill, Ray White Road, and that bus didn't have any brakes on it. And we were loaded down with hay, and you just had to get it in low gear,
Low
or first
gear,
gear at
yep.
the top of the hill. But they missed the gear. I
Oh,
remember
goodness.
great granddaddy trying to get that in gear, and Priscilla went over there, and she was trying to push it in gear, and we headed down the other side, and no brakes on that bus, and loaded down with hay. So it wasn't in gear. So we just ditched it. He ditched it, and we
Oh,
went up
my
on this bank and run over
You
some
ever heard
pine
this story?
saplings. But it stopped. None of us were hurt or anything. Lost a few bales off the top. But I remember Jamie Deering coming up with Ray Stevens' record and pulling us out. And they got the brakes fixed on the bus after that. It kind of
We got
reminded.
scared to death.
Well, it kind of reminded. Yeah, it was a pretty harrowing experience. But it reminded me kind of like that Jerry Clower episode where it tells about who's the family that was
The Ledbetters.
Ledbetter. Yeah, they were driving into town.
Marcel,
Yeah.
Usel, or
It was kind
somebody.
of like that. They were driving into town, and I think like a courthouse was on fire or something one time, and they were driving into town, and they just drove right into the middle of the fire. Everybody hopped off and started stomping it out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they passed a hat around after it happened because they put the fire out.
Yeah.
And they thanked them for putting the fire out and took up some money and gave it to Marcel Ledbetter and said, well, what you going to do with this money? He said, well, first thing I'm going to do is get the brakes fixed on that truck. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. That's the first thing they did, get the brakes fixed on that bus.
Yeah, how about that time that car actually went through the courthouse, banged up those
Well, it
steps?
hit the step.
Yeah, it hit the steps. They had to replace the steps.
Hit the
That
steps.
actually did happen.
They
Busted
just
them
got
up.
something to say.
Say it.
You still got the bus or that farm? The farm.
Farm, yes. Now,
Okay.
Skip would work out there, too.
Yeah. Well, Craig,
Yeah.
Uncle Craig's been working the farm a lot lately. But tell him what you and Craig do. He has a go-kart, and so you probably know more about the pasture if you've been through it. Somewhere in the pasture, they go up to the top of the pasture, and it's a hill. And Aden says all you can see is sky. Oh, you're talking about a different farm. He worked a different farm than where
Yeah.
you go riding. Anyway, they kill the go-kart, and they coast all the way down this hill, so they call it going to Sky Hill.
Sky Hill.
Craig works a different farm than what he was talking about, baling hay. Okay.
Well,
it took forever to unload that thing, too. Golly, it took
Yeah, it
about
does.
2
That's
hours to
hard
unload
work,
that thing.
yes.
Golly.
When you load it up, do you have something to transport the hay up, like a picker?
Oh, yeah. And we've been going through the field in third gear, just throwing it on our heads and everything.
Daddy had a wild hair one time and decided he was going to get in the square bell business and ended up with a convertible bus, much like that, with the picker and everything. And my sister, we were in a hayfield, and my sister was driving, and my dad was getting mad at Amanda for driving in low. He said he wanted to go in second, so she up to second, and it was throwing bales so fast.
yeah.
Oh gosh, like I was dying trying to stack them.
Oh, yeah, two of
I've
them
been
back
there.
there.
It's
not
I've
fun.
only done hay a couple times, and it's a harrowing experience, to use the mighty fine words of David Murphree. It'll definitely it'll change.
It'll teach you a couple things. That's for
That's
sure.
for dag, I'm sure.
Oh.
Oh, this was one thing he was wanting to talk about. He's going to be 16 his next birthday. So his theory is typically when you turn 16, you get a vehicle, right? Well, I mean, he's not going to be driving. And so he's got his eye on a prize, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to get it. And what is it?
What's that prize?
It's a wheelchair with tracks.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's called a track chair. So I told him, I said, we might have to all pull together and make something happen.
We might have to make something happen. Get that track chair.
We have to do a cow patty drop or something.
Yeah.
So, but really, they have, like, you can drive them in the woods.
Right,
You can
they're
drop
all
them in the
terrain.
sand.
Yeah, you can take them anywhere.
It has, like, where you can put your fishing rod, a gun if you went hunting. And if he was in Talladega with that thing, whoo, he would be unstoppable.
Be like a monster
So,
truck race.
I got to look it up and do a
Yeah.
little bit more research on it. He's been watching YouTube videos about them. But
That's
I think
awesome.
they're like 20, 25,000. I don't know.
Yeah. We need to see what we can do. Tell old Big Money to help out.
Yeah.
Old Big Money.
He can
Yeah.
sell a couple of cows.
Oh.
Is that what people call him?
Old Big Money. Yeah, that's what he calls everybody else, but everybody knows he's a Big Money.
Once you hit Papa up.
Old Skip Shaw, hit him up. What's your recommendation there, Aden? You know how the show works. What's your recommendation? What do you recommend? We'll start with you.
Oh.
What? What did he say? What? Rhonda, you okay? Rhonda, you all right? He didn't cuss, did he?
Cheeseburger. He's talking about like a place of business. Where do you get a cheeseburger? Shaw's. Yeah, tell Nick you want to do cheeseburger wars.
Yeah, we need to do cheeseburger war. Sue's
He
got the
wants
best
to get
cheeseburger
a
in town.
cheeseburger from everybody in town and have a taste test.
We'll figure out who's got the
See who's
best.
the best,
Got the
because two
best.
sisters got a sign up says they got the best hamburgers in the world, and Aden don't know. He wants
Aiden's
to,
calling bluff until he knows.
Yeah, we got the
Was
new
that funny?
the Dog Diner. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, yep.
And
Doghouse?
Shaw's and Two Sisters.
Huddle House. Oh, never mind. Jack's.
Jack's.
Yeah.
And they're a new across the jail food truck.
Blacktop Bistro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say we need
Greasy
to have
Cove.
some Greasy Cove.
Greasy Spoon.
He said he brought up the idea to Papa about Burger Wars. And what did Papa say? He didn't like it.
He
Why
didn't
did he
like
not like it? He don't think he can win.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give my recommendation. All right, my recommendation is Scatman. Aaron, my recommendation is no, the song. Y'all ever heard the song? Okay, well, I'm going to play it. I can only play like 2 seconds of it Because, shut up, Aaron. Aaron, I know we brought this up before we started recording. All right, y'all ready?
Inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke. All right. Okay, that's all I can play. So I recommend you listen to Scatman, Ski by Bop by Dope.
It stopped scrolling.
Hold on. Bop. Extended version. All right. And the artist is Scatman John. It's great. It's a great song.
Oh, so you talking about? I thought you was talking about some other type of scat. I thought you was talking about
I'm not talking about poop.
okay,
Yeah.
scat. Man. I thought
Yeah.
that's what you.
No. Scatman.
You needed your laugh in the night.
Scat,
That was a
yeah.
good one.
All right.
Scat.
What's your recommendation?
I'm gonna have two. One because it's current, and one because I'm gonna forget it if I don't. So
Okay.
the one that I'm need to do before I forget it is there is an artist out named Melody Sheep. You can find them on Spotify, Apple,
It's a band?
wherever. Yeah, I think it's just an artist, but it's kind of a techno kind of something. I found them whenever I saw a YouTube video but that was basically talking about what's going to happen to the world in the next billion years, just hypothesis. And the music that was playing behind it was really fun. It was really upbeat. It's very, it's very spacey, And I really enjoyed it, so I started looking at some of the other stuff that they put out, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So
I got really deep real quick.
Can we dance to it?
not really. You just kind of chill out to it. Yeah. So, but the one I am going to recommend is on Amazon Prime right now. They have a series out called Jack Reacher. It's really good. We are about halfway through season 1 of the only season that's out so far. But we've really
John
enjoyed it.
Krasinski.
No.
No, that's
Jack Ryan, because I got in an argument
that's
with my
Jack,
father-in-law
yeah.
about this the other day. I told him I already seen it. And he
Hold
goes,
on,
"No,
wait a minute.
Not this.
I thought you were talking about John. That's
No,
Jack
no,
Ryan.
that's Jack
This
Ryan.
is Jack Reacher.
This is Jack Reacher.
Okay, there are too many
Is it-
Jack
wait a minute.
series.
Is it Jack Reacher or just Reacher?
Well, he goes by Reacher, but it's Jack Reacher.
Okay.
We got too
Well, it
many
may just
Jack
be Reacher.
series.
I
We need to
forget
calm
it.
down on
Yeah.
the Jack series.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, Jack Ryan, Jack Reacher. Jax.
But this guy is former military, 6'5", over 300 pounds. He's just a very intimidating guy.
Yeah.
Comes into a little small town in Georgia. He's there for one thing, just to kind of look at a blues artist that passed away there, and then just basically the top blows off of it, and all this other stuff starts happening. And it's been a very good series so far. So I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Clintus. What about your recommendation there?
Well, since we
Murphree,
talked
are
so
you all right?
much about NASCAR, I'm just going to recommend that you watch the NASCAR Hall of Fame induction ceremony when Red Farmer was inducted and Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Was that recent?
Yeah, recently. The
Okay.
last probably a week ago, I guess.
Okay.
Do you listen to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast?
Yes.
You like it? Dale Jr. Download?
Yes, I like
He
it.
wants to do that.
Yeah.
The Dale Jr. download,
I want to
you
go
wanna
there
do
too.
that?
He wants to listen to that.
No, you don't need to start listening to that.
Exit
He
only.
thinks that he might trump their podcast.
It's a good
There's-
one. That
there's
Dale
no
Jr. download
thinking.
is good.
My favorite episode is when Casey Earnhardt comes on and they talk about their dad. That right there is a great.
Carrie?
Carrie,
yeah.
Not Casey, Carrie, yeah.
And Carrie's a split image of Dale.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, it's
crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, because he's about the same age now. Like, he's, 5 or 8 years younger than Dale was when Dale died, but he looks just like Dale.
He has a bunch of good guests on there.
Right.
It's really good.
I think, I don't know, you said Dale like 8 times. I don't
Yeah.
know which one we're talking about. Keep going.
It's not.
Yeah,
They're
I
not a
think
sponsor though, are they?
Who?
Dale Jr. Download.
But no,
It's not
they
a
should be.
Not a sponsor.
They should be.
We should get Aiden on that podcast.
Yeah, we should get Aiden on that podcast.
Just like he's brought up ours, maybe he can bring up Dale Jr.'s too.
Is that a good idea?
Would you bring up Talk or Go? I almost forgot the name of this podcast. Would you bring up Talk or Go Home on the Dale Jr. Download?
Maybe.
But
Better.
Aiden might could get y'all's name out there.
Yeah, you better.
That's a good idea.
But,
I like it.
Oh, big boy. Well, so
hey, shout out to Ann Stewart before we go down in Springville. She's been listening and watching.
And watching, shout out to you, Ann Stewart,
Ann
if you're
Stewart.
watching. Where does she watch on? Spotify or YouTube?
I don't know. I have no idea. I can barely watch it myself. I have no idea. YouTube, Spotify, something.
YouTube,
I don't know.
Spotify.
I don't-
Aaron,
Where do you watch it?
well, yeah, where do you watch it?
I can't figure out that stuff.
Spotify.
Spotify. Aaron, where do you listen? You don't listen to the podcast, do you, Aaron?
He
I
lives
do a
it.
pretty good bit.
He lives it. He doesn't have to listen to it.
He's like, I produce it. I don't need to listen to it again.
I mean, when I'm in a grocery store or something, I turn it on in the background.
Oh, I'm glad we're your grocery store podcast.
Well, no.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
Look. When I'm doing
Plantains are in season. Ha ha ha. Nick made a joke.
What grocery store?
Walmart, mainly. Like, look, I'm
Not
at
a sponsor.
Walmart 95% of the time.
They're not a
I
sponsor.
should say.
He only listens to us when he's too bored to go grocery shopping with his mom.
No,
That's
no.
exactly what he's telling us.
No. I
Hey.
listen to y'all while doing homework or just doing.
And your grades have improved drastically. We thank you.
They have.
I do have a really quick, kind of serious question.
Okay.
If we listen to our own podcast or casts, in
Yeah.
my case, does that make you a narcissist?
No. It makes you.
Yes.
Okay. Does.
You don't have a podcast, so shut up, Aaron.
So. I'm going to look at it from this angle, and this may reinforce the narcissistic argument, or it may not. I don't know.
I look at it as a way to get better and figure out, hey, what could we have improved on?
Well, so you look at a football player, a basketball player, a wrestler.
right.
What do? They watch film on themselves
Sure.
to see how they can get better. Same difference.
Okay.
I just don't have a life.
Don't have a life, and he can't remember what we talked about, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good."
No,
That
no,
killed
no.
Aaron.
I'm just kidding. I got a big time life. I was just kidding.
Now he's hedging. I love you, sweetie.
You was about to throw it all away this past
Yeah,
weekend.
it's all got to go.
Everybody's
Yeah.
throwing up.
You glad you didn't?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm glad I did.
Hey, you got buffalo sauce on your chin.
I wish I did.
Wing sauce.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah, I am too. So we're all hungry. We got to go. Aden, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it. We're glad we could have you on. It's awesome to have the super fan of Talk or Go Home on the podcast to share some of his experiences. We appreciate it, brother.
Thank y'all for inviting him.
Absolutely.
I'm glad y'all see more than just a cute little guy in a wheelchair. Because a lot of times people don't take the time to slow down and listen to what Aden has to say.
Yeah.
Because he knows a lot more than what
He does.
Oh yeah.
He's
He knows more
hilarious.
about NASCAR than I do. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
His legs may not work just perfectly, but there's nothing wrong with your what? Brain.
I'm going to the race with
Yep.
him.
Yeah.
You should.
You know.
You should. Maybe we could reach out to Rick Carley. You know, Rick Carley called me at school the day
What?
after a race and wrote that article.
Yeah.
And he told me to get back in touch with him and he'd hook us up.
We need to get a driver by here. We need to get a driver to come to the
That's
school.
close
Yeah.
as it is to Talladega.
Yeah.
I've always thought that.
We need to get somebody to come by here.
Once again,
Hang out.
Aden might could hook us up. Come on, Aden.
I'm talking. We need to chase Elliot here at
Yeah.
the school with the car.
With
they need
the
to bring
car.
a show car by here.
Yeah.
There you
He
go.
needs to be here.
Yeah.
Well, him and Wes did make a video one time and sent it to Hendrick Motorsports. I need to dig it up.
Oh,
for you.
please do. Please do. We'll post it on our social
Yeah.
media.
So,
Post it
we
on our
might already
social media.
get back at that again.
Well,
Aiden's starting a YouTube channel.
really?
I figured you was going to say
Yeah.
that.
Oh, well, then you got to plug it, dude.
That's what I figured. Do you have the name of it yet? It's going to be something Rocky's Garage. They've filmed a couple of episodes, but they're getting ready to put it on YouTube, so we'll let you know when they do.
Okay. Let us know. We'll get it out there to all 12 of our fans. We'll get it out there.
Are we up to a dozen now?
We're up to a dozen.
Oh, one more. It's a baker's dozen.
Well, after this, y'all going to have more because Aden is a part of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So all the fam.
Aiden's
will be
entourage
listening
is
to it.
coming.
Yep.
Aiden's entourage.
Yep.
We got a shirt coming for you, dude. Don't forget about that. We got a shirt. All right. Well, look, you know how it ends, right? You know how we end the show. Okay, so I'm gonna say it. Don't forget, you can talk. Hey, go back to their shot real quick. Okay. Turn. Hit. That camera needs to be more. Hey, can you scoot this way more?